Hey church family, my name is David Joiner and I serve here at First Baptist as the Children and Families Pastor. Been here a little over a year and a half, and this is my wife Joy. We've been married over 20 years. We do have one daughter. Her name is Carrie Ann. And so today we thought we would have a little fun this week with Valentines and want to share a little bit about what we're going to do.
We thought it might be interesting for you all to get to know some of our staff families and how they celebrate Valentine's Day as a couple and as a family as well. Just some ideas and some traditions, and maybe along the way you might gather some ideas that you might want to incorporate into your Valentine's Day celebration as well.
Yeah, so this is what we're going to do. Every day this week, we're going to post a new video just like this one, and also to go along with that video, a question and answer sheet that each staff member has been asked to fill out to give you just some more detail into their ideas or maybe their traditions about what they or how they do Valentine's Day, not just as a couple, but even as a family too. So we want to share a couple things with you from our own experience over the last 20 years.
One of my favorite Valentine's Day was a Valentine's Day where David created kind of like a weekend getaway for us on St. Simon's Island. It was fun and special because I think one of the best ways that we can show someone that we love them is through thoughtfulness and through quality time. And both of those were very much incorporated throughout the weekend. David had planned every single aspect of the weekend for us, including what we were eating at every meal, the meals that we ate in the condo. He cooked every single one of them, would not let me lift a finger, would not let me even throw something away. I mean, it was like, he just was so precious in serving me the entire weekend. He did small details along the way, like he knows I love to read, and so he had gotten a book by an author, a historical fiction novel. The author happens to be buried on St. Simon's Island, and so he had gotten a book by her, and also have this little habit of loving M&Ms a lot, and I like to sometimes eat M&Ms when I'm reading, so can't do it that much now, but he had gotten me a pack of M&Ms to go along with it. But one of my favorite moments of the weekend was we went down to the beach and we had dessert on the beach. And it was so simple, but it was just a really special moment. And he had taken a blanket down there and a thermos with hot chocolate in it because it's February at the beach, and then also just a store-bought little Debbie dessert. And so we had dessert on the beach and talked about dreams and all that God had already done in our lives and in our relationship. And it was just a really sweet and thoughtful and definitely quality time moment and during that weekend.
Absolutely. And one of the things we want you to know is sometimes, I mean, we're not perfect with this. That was one that she remembers of the 20 years, okay? But I would say that because Joy's, one of her love languages, probably her top love language, is actually not even on the list of the 5 love languages, but we think it ought to be. It ought to be incorporated in all of it. It's thoughtfulness.
It's part of it.
Yeah, thoughtfulness. And so, and I would venture to say most women, if you are thoughtful in their gifts, thoughtful in your time together, then you are meeting that love language in many ways. And so thoughtfulness doesn't cost anything though, and yet it was very important. And so the Little Debbie's and chocolate, hot chocolate didn't cost much either, but they turned out to be winners. And I didn't know that going into that, but I do know that now. The other thing that we want to share with you a little bit about is how we've now, since Carrie Ann has come into our lives, how we've basically transitioned Valentine's Day into more of a family event for us, and we are sharing it with Carrie Ann as a family. One of the things that we did, the very first Valentine's Day that we ever did together, I created this thing called the Joiner Café, and basically Joy came over and we had dinner together at my house where I was on property at the church and lived on property there in a little house. And that was something that we have carried into a tradition even today. If we're home for Valentine's Day, we reopen Joiner Café, still have the same meal that we had 20 years ago, try to recreate it as much as possible. And we've gotten Carrie Ann in the mix of helping do that. Sometimes she'll serve, sometimes she'll help set the day and the evening with candles or whatever. but it's getting her involved in the whole idea of this, so that number one, she sees that we love each other, but that she is a part of this family too. And now we will go out on a date and we'll do some other things. Just we typically don't do that on Valentine's Day.
We don't do that on Valentine's Day.
Too crowded out there.
Yes.
We don't do some of that. But we love to have it at home and then plan those special moments. So,
right.
And but we also do a few other things. Joy's great around the house of helping us, remind us to write little notes, and we have a little mailbox that we put notes on and to open on Valentine's Day, and she does some things for Kyrian too. So anyway, the little things that you can do, thoughtfulness, that's what we'd like to encourage you to make sure you do this Valentine's Day. And as we end this, we just want to remind you of two things. Number one, that we are for you.
And we're for your family.
Absolutely. Happy Valentine's Day.